Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Dufa DF9035 Tauschen. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing the CCOS 2557, and Grogo's wearing my Shinobi 9866. Grogo said that Master Skywalker sold his Tatooine water form to Cinder Pelly's Jedi Godfather. When Boba Fett asked him why he would do such a thing, Luke told him the Godfather made him an offer he couldn't refuse. It was at least twice the fair market value. All right, let's take a look at the watch. Comes in a fairly nice box, considering the price of this watch. And here it is. A Dufa. I kind of made fun of the name when I first unboxed this, but I guess in German, this is a very well-respected name. This is the first Dufa on my channel. Dufa is a German-made watch, which isn't a surprise due to the name. I got this watch as my monthly Watch Gang Black Tier selection, and this is yet another instance of Watch Gang sending me something no longer produced and out of stock. I joined Watch Gang to mix things up and to show some more watches that aren't sold on AliExpress, but I like to review watches you can actually buy, so I'm seriously considering canceling my subscription. However, if you do like this watch, there are plenty on eBay, so I guess this review isn't useless. This watch is called a Tauschen, which is German for dive. They should have added Stil, which is German for style. Dufa calls this a Mecha Quartz due to the Seiko VH31 movement. I'm on the side that says that the VH31 isn't actually a Mecha Quartz, it's just a quartz that takes 4 times a second. This watch comes in 7 colorways. Each color has a noun adjective. The one they sent me is called Slate Gray. There's also Atlantic Blue, English Green, Jet Black, Midnight Black, Polar White, and Ruby Red. The watch is 41 millimeters if you measure at the bezel, but 42 millimeters if you measure at the case. 47.4 millimeters lug to lug with inverted end links. It's 11 millimeters thick. Has a 22 millimeter lug width, and it tapers down to 18 at the clasp, and weighs 123 grams on the supplied bracelet with 2 links removed. The bezel is 120 click unidirectional, but if you look at the bezel, even though it has the ascension phase markers of a dive watch, it has numerals for hour numerals for tracking a second time instead. Of course, it doesn't take a lot of skill to translate these numbers into minutes, so you can kind of use the watch for both. But this is a 100-meter watch, so this kind of makes it a skin diver and not an actual diver, because you only get 100 meters. And skin diver is kind of a term they use for a watch that's a dive style watch, because you don't really need to time your skin dives. So let's get the hands out of the way. We got the Dufa name printed up top. Then on the bottom here, it says Waucherschitz, if that's the way you pronounce it. That's German for water resistance. And then it says 100 meters. Then on the bottom it says Mecha Quartz. Once again, I don't agree that a VH31 is a Mecha Quartz. It is a fast ticking quartz. It's not mechanical. It's just a quartz watch that ticks 4 times a second. So I think that a lot of people call it a Mecha Quartz because there's just really isn't a term for fast ticking quartz. I don't know. Some people call it a sweeping quartz. Then we have the minute markers on the chapter ring. And then we have the dot indices. But if you look at the 12 o'clock index, it's a sandwich dial there at the 12. But it's only the 12 o'clock. All the rest of are applied. And then we have the hands. We have a fence post minute hand. And then we have a stick hour hand. And then we have a second hand with a loomed rectangle. Not a lollipop, but a rectangle. Then we have a sign, screw down crown. The thread action is fine. Don't feel a lot of resistance. Pops nicely. Then when you go to screw it back in, it It's just fine. Nothing wrong with that. Then we have the crystal. The crystal is glass, not sapphire. Kind of a disappointment on a watch in the over $100, but then again, glass just doesn't reflect as much as sapphire. Then we have the case. The case is really nice. I think they did a good job with the case. It's nice and thin, solid steel, polished on the sides, and there is a chamfered edge. Really like the case. It wears nice. Then we have the case back. The case back is a screw down. We have the little notches there for a wrench. Thankfully, it's not a coin edge. Then we got the Dufa name and logo in the middle. And then it says Mecha Quartz movement. Once again, I don't agree with that. Then it says 10 ATM, 100 meters. Made in Germany, all stainless steel. But the case back's nice and thin, so it keeps the watch nice and thin. Underneath the case back is the Seiko VH31 movement. This movement ticks 4 times a second. Once again, a lot of people call it a Mecha Quartz, including Dufa here. But it's really not a mechanical movement. It's a quartz movement that just ticks 4 times a second. And you only get 2 years battery life because of that fast ticking. But thankfully, since you have a screw-down case back with notches there, it'll be easy enough to change the batteries yourself, and it won't cost a lot of money. The biggest drawback to me for this movement is there's no date. And I like having a date on my watches. Then we have the bracelet. The bracelet's a 3-link oyster style with inverted solid end links, and they're fully brushed. I prefer brushed rather than having polished center links. And we have push pin adjusters, not screw pins. I'm perfectly happy with push pins. I think they're easier, and I don't have to worry about them coming out on me. As you can see, though, there's 4 links yet to remove, and I removed 2. Actually, they removed 2 for me. Watch Gang removed them for me. Then we have the clasp. The clasp is a milled scissor clasp, but it's a pressed upper. Then we have 3 holes of micro adjust. And it is a signed clasp. Here's the watch of my 7.5-inch wrist. It looks nice. It wears nice. Look how flat that is. So it contours to my wrist just about perfect. Once again, 2 links were removed to fit on my wrist. So 8 1/4 is probably the best you're going to do without getting more links or a longer clasp. So, yeah, it would be nice if there was at least 1 or 2 more links. But it's super comfortable. I really enjoyed wearing this watch. Here we are in the Lume room, just wearing the watch for review purposes. I could tell it had Lume, but unfortunately the indices seem to stand out better than the hands. As we speed up the time, we see a decent burst of blue, but nothing spectacular. The sandwich 12 o'clock triangle is really bad and already gone. The rest of the watch is decent, but nothing special. Unfortunately, the hands underperform the markers, and the Lume pip is about the same as the hands. What do I like about this watch? Well, I like the bezel action. I like that it looks and wears nice, super comfortable. And I do like this slate gray dial with the nice sunburst effect. What are my gripes and groans? The 12 o'clock index, the Lume is just horrible since it's a sandwich, and they just didn't lume the bottom of it very well at all. And really, that's all I really have to complain about. There's not a lot of gripes and groans on this watch. It's a pretty good watch for the money. So do I recommend this watch? Yeah, I recommend this watch. I really enjoyed wearing it. It looks nice. It's super comfortable. And I really like this thin case. So yeah, I've been very happy wearing this watch. No real complaints there. My only complaint, I guess, is the fact that you can't buy it now. They don't make it anymore. So you'll just have to get it on eBay. Or if you live in the US, you can look at my listings and maybe buy it from me, because I will put it for sale soon. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Dufa 9035. And once again, this watch is not for sale, so I will not be leaving any links. You'll just have to go find it yourself. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.